Hello everybody, Ryan here, or MandRproductions, and today I am going to finally put to rest the question of what is and isn't a UCS set in LEGO Star Wars. I am making myself the self-appointed LEGO Star Wars categorical naming czar. I'm basically going to decide what goes where once and for all, and this is going to be my list and the list that I go by for what is and isn't UCS forever, unless I deem a change needs to be made. And if you can make a case for one of the sets that I decide is or isn't UCS during this video, leave it in the comments section down below. Also, if you have a better name for me than LEGO Star Wars categorical naming czar, also leave that in the comments section below. I could go with something a little bit cleaner than that if you have a good idea. But today we're doing something that I've wanted to do for a long time. Basically, I'm going to go through every set that could potentially possibly be considered UCS, and I'm going to basically put it in a tier list like I have here, and I am going to show you guys or go through my process and basically decide what is and isn't UCS. There are some that are going to be easier to say that they are or aren't than others, and right here written down, I actually wrote down what I decided can define a UCS set. Now, if it is one of these things, it isn't automatically UCS, but if it does have one of these traits, it can be considered as a UCS set as we go through this list, or through these sets here. My first qualifier is that it has a display card. So if it has a display card, and of course, like, planet sets have display cards, kind of, but not, like I think most people understand when I say have a display card, it's like what they've had on most UCS sets, where it has information about the vehicle and different things that it does and stuff like that. Maybe it could be a UCS set. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. Part of the 10XXX number system, and it doesn't have to be in that number system, because LEGO used that number system from, I think, like 2002 all the way up until 2014, but then they stopped, and before that they weren't using it. Here on Wikipedia, they actually talk a little bit about that if you guys want to read more about that. But yes, the 10XXX numbering system could be a UCS set. Also, if LEGO calls it UCS, it could be considered for this UCS list. Now, again, this is my list. I'm basically deciding what is and isn't UCS. You by no means have to go by this list, and it might be slightly controversial to some of you guys, but this is what I am deciding is and isn't once and for all. And finally, if it is a direct-to-consumer set from LEGO Star Wars, it could be UCS. We have two more categories if you didn't notice when I was looking at the tier maker. We have MBS and regular set. MBS stands for Master Builder Series. It's a new term that LEGO actually brought out when they released the MBS Cloud City set last year. Same rules apply here as for the UCS. This is just a qualifier. If it has this, it doesn't automatically mean it is a MBS, but a large playset that is direct to consumer and includes a lot of minifigures. And if it has special packaging that is kind of exclusive to that set, or maybe only a couple other sets within that year, it's not part of the regular wave of sets. So let's get started with the Ucs Ty Interceptor from way back in 2000, and you might have noticed I said UCS because this is a UCS set. True and true, this is literally a UCS set. If we go on brickset.com, they have it here. I mean, I agree with Brickset on this one. It's a UCS set. It belongs in the category. We're going to throw it in UCS. The X-Wing is much of the same here. It also does have a plaque and a card and a stand. I guess I should have added stand to the possible qualifiers for UCS set, but that kind of goes with the plaque and everything. But anyway, yes, the X-Wing UCS. Darth Maul is where it can get interesting. You could make the argument that Darth Maul shouldn't be UCS. It doesn't have a plaque. It kind of has a stand down below like his chest, I guess, but it's very non-traditional for UCS, but I think I'm going to go with that Darth Maul and Yoda for that fact, because they're both kind of one and the same with the busts, are UCS set. Now, on the flip side of that, you don't have, like, the Darth Vader bust that we just got. That's not a UCS set. That's just a stupid bust. But this one, I think, is UCS. It's obviously huge. Here we have the Tantive 4 from 2001. I think this one's pretty clear cut as well as a UCS set. I don't think anyone's going to be arguing with me about that one. It was the first set, well, it wasn't the first set I have plaque, but it had a smaller plaque than all the other sets, which I thought was weird, but it was also like a standalone plaque, so I think that's why they didn't really know what to do with that, because on the TIE Fighter and the X-Wing, they just put it on the stand, but with the Tantive 4, they had to make it its own little stand, which was a little bit weird. But definitely a UCS set. Didn't even include minifigures. Yoda, we already kind of determined that one. Now, the Naboo Starfighters, where some people are going to be like, that is the dumbest UCS set ever. And I would agree. I think LEGO didn't really know what they were doing back then. And they kind of took a set when it probably shouldn't have been UCS. I was hoping I would see an image of it on the stand here. You guys can see on that little eBay listing. It does have a stand. It does have a plaque. Those are pretty clear traits of UCS set. It obviously forgoes functionality for detail. The set does only include 187 pieces, and it doesn't even have any minifigures. I mean, it has an R2-D2 head, but at some point you have to say one set has to be the smallest UCS set. But it's still a UCS set. Ultimate Collector Series makes no claims to be huge, I don't think. This is definitely one of them. It's UCS. It's a classic UCS set. We obviously probably won't get anything that small ever again. The Imperial Star Destroyer from 2002, that one, I mean, it's UCS. What are you going to do? Now, Cloud City, this is the first one that I think we really get into it, and we're like, is it or isn't it? Now, it could be a Master Builder Series set. It's definitely not UCS. It doesn't forego functionality for detail. It definitely is a playset. It's not a UCS set. Part of me wants to say it's Master Builder Series, kind of like the newer Cloud City set, and I think that's where I have to put it. Its set number is 10123, so it's within that 10XXX numbering system. It doesn't have a display card. It doesn't have limited functionality in favor of detail. But on the flip side of that, as far as Master Builder Series go, it's a large playset that is direct-to-consumer, and it includes a lot of minifigures. Like, that is pretty much what a Master Builder Series set seems to be, and that's what I'm going to consider as such here. As long as it's direct-to-consumer, it can be a Master Builder Series. The UCS Snowspeeder from 2003, that's pretty straightforward. Of course, the TIE Collection. The only reason I put the TIE Collection on here is it is part of the 10XXX numbering system. Now, you'll notice it is not on the UCS list here, and I would agree with that because it shouldn't be. It's basically a regular set. Other than the TIE D fighter on the top right of that little picture you see, you can buy all of the other sets in here separately. Like, you have Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, which came with the Y-Wing, and you have the regular TIE Fighters, which are released. It's a regular set, just kind of mashed together with a few sets together, and then it was a direct-to-consumer set, so it had the 10XXX number system, or at least I think it was direct-to-consumer. It's neither MBS or UCS. It's a regular set. The UCS Y-Wing from 2004, easy choice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 2004, but yes, that's UCS, no questions asked. Same with the Death Star 2, just to keep us moving along here. UCS, no questions asked. Now, we get to the Sandcrawler. The Sandcrawler is another one where you could go MBS, you could go regular set. I wouldn't say, like, it is set 10144, and for a long time in my head, I was calling it UCS, and I mean, fact of the matter is, it's very similar to the 2014 one. Like, it includes a bunch of minifigures, it's got functionality. LEGO did call the 2014 one UCS, which I do agree with. We'll get to that, though. But this, I mean, the 2005 Sandcrawler here is literally the same thing, it's just less detailed, and that's what makes it really tough for me to want to not call it UCS. It's one of those that's really, really borderline, and I'm just going to throw the Sandcrawler back down here. It's one of those that's really, really borderline, and if you guys made a compelling argument in the comments section down below, I might change my mind on it, but I think I have to go UCS on this set, just because I'm so in on the next one that they released being UCS. This one is pretty much the same thing, just made for a different time period, so I'm going UCS on that Sandcrawler. It's direct consumer, it's set 10144, it's got the numbering system there. It does not have a display card. It does, I guess you could say it has limited functionality in favor of detail, although that's hard to tell on a set like this where it's kind of a mix. I don't believe LEGO did ever call it UCS, but I'm going to go with it. That's my gut feeling, is that that should be a UCS set, although it was the first UCS set, I guess, if I'm calling it that, to include minifigures, so that's kind of interesting from that perspective, I suppose. Next up, ATST has a plaque. It doesn't have a stand because it's an ATST. It stands on its own. It's definitely a UCS set, though. Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, more of the same, definitely a UCS set, both from 2006 there with the ATST and Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, awesome sets. Next up, we have the 10178 motorized AT-AT. It doesn't have a display card. It doesn't have limited functionality in favor of detail. It has limited interior space in favor of functionality, in fact. So this to me is just a regular play set, even though it does have the special number. It's just a really cool LEGO Star Wars set that is just fun to play with. Even though it has 10178, it's not a UCS set. I don't think it's Master Builder Series. It's just a regular set with motor functions, and I think that's fine for that category for me. The UCS Millennium Falcon, no questions asked, is a UCS set. General Grievous is one of the weirder UCS sets because he has a weird plaque, but I'm still going to call him UCS. He's definitely still UCS. Like, no, I'm not even going to get into that argument. Then we have the 10188 Death Star, which LEGO at the time, I don't believe, called UCS. They didn't put, like, UCS on the box. Basically, this is a big play set, right? With a lot of minifigures. It's a Telltale, or it's a it's a Master Builder Series. What are we even arguing about? It's a Master Builder Series. It was $400, so it's expensive. It was direct to consumer. Like, kind of fits the Master Builder Series traits there. Next up, we have the 10195 Republic Dropship with ATOT. It was $250 direct to consumer. It was a large playset that was both accurate and functional, but I don't think it's a UCS set. I don't think I can give it that title. If it had a plaque or something, we'd be talking, but it's just a large playset. And this is where it kind of gets muddy. Some people consider Master Builder Series, and I think I might be in that boat, to only be that of static scenes. Like if it's a Master Builder Series, it has to be like a place, not a thing. The Death Star is kind of both, right? But like definitely Republic Dropship with ATOT is not a place, right? Like it's not like a thing that's basically like an area. And I think I have to put it as regular set. It's a very large regular set, but it's basically a regular set, which I'm pretty torn on, because that's gonna come into an effect when I get to the Tantive 4s here, which are both gonna be very similar. So 2009 brought us the 10198 Tantive 4 here, and that was a 10th anniversary set. Had some minifigures. Wasn't UCS. It was a play set, so you could go Master Builder Series on this one, and that's where I'm really torn. Is I would love to put this in Master Builder Series. I'd love to put that in Master Builder Series, and because to me, what differentiates the Tantive 4 from the Republic Dropship with ATOT, other than them both obviously being different vehicles, but like they're both. I mean, I think they're both just really large regular sets. Which is, I mean, that's where it really gets muddy. That's what I'm going to go with for now. I might do some more thinking on that one, though. Next up, UCS Imperial Shuttle, UCS Obi-Wan Starfighter, UCS Super Star Destroyer. Pretty straightforward on those. Definitely UCS. They all have plaques. They're all very displayable. They all forego functionality in favor of detail, blah, blah, blah. Expensive, direct to consumer, set number. All the boxes are checked on those ones. Next up, R2-D2, which LEGO themselves called UCS back in the day. Although, this is one that basically has a decision that, like I said, with the Republic Dropship with ATOT and the Tantive, like kind of bears a little bit of weight going forward here on the list. But the R2-D2 is UCS in my mind. It has functionality, but it is also highly displayable, and it comes with a plaque. I mean, if it has a plaque, like, it's very hard for me to say a set that has a display card for it not to be an Ultimate Collector Series set. So R2-D2 is going to make the UCS list. We'll talk more about him later, I guess, when we get to BB-8 and the Porg, because that's when it gets tough. The B-Wing UCS, no questions asked. Ewok Village! So like I said before, static areas are Master Builder Series, and other things are just regular sets, and that's kind of where I kind of see the split being as far as Master Builder Series and regular set with the Tantive and the Republic Dropship with ATOT and the AT-AT there versus like Cloud City, the Death Star, and the Ewok Village. I'm sticking with my gut here. I'm going Master Builder Series on the Ewok Village, no questions asked. X-Wing. The Sandcrawler, kind of already talked about this. I believe it's UCS. LEGO called it UCS. It's a huge model, very detailed, very displayable. Slave One, definitely UCS. TIE Fighter, definitely UCS. I don't think we have to go too far into detail about that. LEGO went out of their way to put, if you see where my mouse is, bottom left of this picture, they went out of their way to put a little UCS logo on the UCS Hoth set. And, you know, it's not a UCS set. It's not detailed enough to be a UCS set. The shield generator only has 3 shield generator sections instead of 4. The Wampa can't fit inside his own cave. Like, it's a very large static area playset. It's Master Builder Series. The Death Star, they also went out of their way to put the UCS logo on this box, but it is not UCS. It's Master Builder Series. It's the exact same as the original one. They are both Master Builder Series as far as I'm concerned. UCS Snowspeeder is UCS. What do you know? BB-8. Now it gets fun, right? So I said R2-D2 is UCS, and I fully believe that. And BB-8, in my mind, is and LEGO doesn't call BB-8 UCS, nor did they put it in like a special numbering system, but they haven't been doing that with UCS sets lately either anyway. But BB-8, like, as far as I'm concerned, is UCS. It is in the same vein as R2-D2. It's a large droid with some play functions that are hidden underneath the surface, and it has a display card, and this one even has a stand for it. So, like, you can't tell me this isn't UCS. This is exactly what UCS is. It's a large display set with limited functionality in favor of detail. And it has a display card with information about it. Like, it's UCS in, like, the most true sense, in my opinion. Next up, UCS Millennium Falcon is UCS. What do you know? UCS Y-Wing is UCS. Lego started the name Master Builder Series with Cloud City. You know what? I agree. Master Builder Series Cloud City. The Porg is an animal. How can it be UCS? It's got a display card. Other than not being a droid, it is exactly the same idea as R2-D2. Exactly the same idea as the BB-8 there. And it's not direct-to-consumer, though. I will say that. The BB-8 and Porg are not direct-to-consumer. R2-D2 was. You could draw the line there. However, they're both, like, other than them just being sold in more stores, there's nothing that actually differentiates the sets other than, well, obviously them being different things, but, like, the same concept for building the model and having the display stand and the details or features being kind of hidden underneath the surface. It's a UCS set, whether you like it or not. It's there. Finally, the Tantive 4, the brand new Tantive 4, which Lego did not call it Master Builder Series. They also accidentally in an email called it, they put out the Tantive 4 and they're like, Ultimate Collector Series are advanced and detailed memorabilia models built to display. That is not what this is, but they put it in an email anyway, advertising the set, which was pretty interesting. So at like some point, like they consider it UCS or like to some degree, but it is not UCS. It's also not MBS. All the Lego, if it was Master Builder Series, Lego would have called it Master Builder Series, and that's kind of the reason I'm not going to call it Master Builder Series either. So for that reason, I'm going to drop the Tantive 4 down with the rest of these bum regular sets, although I will say none of these sets are bad just because they're regular sets. That's just what they are. That is my definitive what is and isn't UCS list. I give you the floor in the comment section below to attempt to change my mind if you completely disagree with me on something here, but I'm pretty confident in the way that I've done this. I'm very happy with the way that it's come out. The only thing that I could see people making a real argument for are the two Sandcrawlers, but I'm pretty set in stone on those. I don't know, man. Anyway, leave a like if you did enjoy. Let me know what you think about my definitive UCS list down in the comments section below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for putting up with me for the last 10 to 15 minutes. Peace out.